Hey everybody, it's Vince Daniel, Vice President of National Missions at General Baptist, and here again on night 2 of the Missions and Ministry Summit, and we're so glad that you're joining us. I'm going to give you a few seconds to get on. Don't forget, if you are watching us tonight, just comment below, tell us where you're watching from, and how long you've been coming to the summits, or maybe this is the first year you've attended online, or maybe you didn't even know these options were available, but here you are, and we're so glad that you're here. A couple of things I want to talk through tonight before this service. It's going to be a good one tonight. Gary Poole's going to be with us and sharing tonight. We've had a great day today at the summit with lots of different activities, and I'm going to be walking through each of those based from Pastor Danny Donovan's sermon last night to Robbie Gallaty this morning, and some of the great stuff that we've heard. And before we get too far into tonight, I want to again thank you for joining us online. I'll tell you, we're here at the Sloan Convention Center in Bowling Green, Kentucky. If you haven't been up here, I challenge you to come up here. There's all kinds of great stuff in Bowling Green. I know our General Baptist family is enjoying it. Today has been a good day. We had some breakouts this afternoon. We had a missions super session. I think it was super because of the missionaries that were there, and we were so glad to be able to spend some time with them, about 2 hours, just talking through what God has done in their ministry fields. And we had people from West Africa, we had people from Detroit, people from Oklahoma, missionaries to Honduras. And if you get a chance, I would just find a time to encourage a missionary, encourage somebody that's looking at the mission field. You can get their information through our GB website. We challenge you to go there and get more information. Again, there's going to be a lot of things going on tonight through the session, through this next 45 minutes that I have with you before the service starts tonight. Then there's going to be a powerful time of worship, and we want you to stay right here with us as we go into that night. And so I want to just take a few minutes. We're going to show you a couple video clips throughout this time together where you're going to get some more information about what's coming. You're going to hear from Oakland City. You're going to hear from women's ministry. You're going to hear possibly even from some of our missionaries, where you're going to have a little bit more time and maybe gain a little bit more understanding on what they're dealing with or what God's doing in their ministries. Our super session today, when we talked with our missionaries, we really focused on what it means to engage with our missionaries, engaging in prayer. Most of us know how to pray. We've done it most of our lives, and maybe some of you are great at it, and maybe some of you only do it if there are blue lights in your rear view. But whenever you pray, I would ask that you focus on missionaries, focus on what God is doing in their life, how He can work in their life. And again, today we had things that came up like pray for our family. There's been some illness. We had people bring up pray for our area where they're not letting us do our mission work. And so there's lots of opportunities for you to pray about those things. We're going to have some guests stop by tonight. Some of the General Baptist headquarters staff is going to be here, and I can't wait to introduce you to some of them. But real quick, I want you to hear from Oakland City University and hear what they have to say, and I'll be back in just a few minutes. Hey, here we are back again. Vince, Daniel, National Missions. So glad that, again, you're here with us tonight. It's going to be a little bit of time here as we get geared up for our evening session at the summit. Just to kind of give you an overview of the day and what happened. This morning, we kicked off the morning with Pastor Robbie Gallaty from Long Hollow Church. And Pastor Robbie came and he spoke a powerful word this morning. Some of the quotes that he gave us, some of the message he gave us was fantastic. There was one that really stood out to me in regards to pastoring and ministering. And I've been a pastor for about 20 years, but the statement he made was that you can quickly or easily fall in love with the ministry of Jesus, but fall out of love with the Jesus of the ministry. And what a powerful statement that was, and how easy it is for us to kind of get in a rut and go through the motions of ministry. And that's what this time of the summit is for, is a place where we can come together, we can kind of reload, we can get refocused on the real true heart of what it is that we do. We seek to do mission as an organization. We seek to do ministry together as a family. And again, we've seen that family thing happen throughout yesterday and even today here at the summit, where old friends have reconnected and new friends have been made, either over lunch, or I think there were several pastors that left today and did some disc golf, and yesterday there were pastors together playing golf, and we just had a great time of reconnecting and people coming together, starting and forming these new friendships. As we go into the rest of the night, as I said, you're going to see some different clips happen. You're going to meet some different people. But after Pastor Robbie's message earlier today, we moved into a time of session where, again, Pastor Robbie Gallaty came back. He spoke through discipleship and how he views discipleship and how you can maybe better view discipleship in your own church. So if you haven't watched it, don't hesitate. Go back through the videos right there where you're at right now, and you'll be able to find Pastor Robbie's message from this morning and the time that he shared this morning. Also tonight, again, Gary Poole is going to be with us sharing this being all in. That's our theme this year for the summit, that we're going to go all in missions. We're going to go all in for the church. We're going to go all in for one another. And so I can't wait for you to hear those. Maybe it's tomorrow, maybe it's tonight. You join us live for that session. But right now, I want to throw it over to one of our women's ministries, and I want you to hear about their banner cause this year. Women's ministry is a powerful partner with General Baptist, and we're so excited about what it is they do, and I want you to hear about their banner cause. So here we go. Just take a few seconds. Listen to what Miss Vicki has to say about where women's ministry is going this year.
India has a current population of 1.336 billion people. Only 2.3% of those are Christians. Dr. Prakash and Jamima Pamu assume the leadership of the India Association. Included in the ministry of this association are the Dorcas Sewing Centers, Grace Home for Poor Women and Widows, and the Bible Women of India Association. Jesse and Brittany Vamula assume the leadership of the Calvary Grace Association. Included in this ministry are Good Shepherd Children's Home and Lydia Sewing Centers. Calvary Grace Association has also been very active in finding communities in need of water and providing wells for the communities. Women's Ministries has chosen India as the banner cause for 2022. Contributions will be divided equally between the India associations. In 2022, all monies generated from the following will go to support the banner cause: World Day of Prayer, Summit Offering, Inside Out Offering, and a Zenith Brewster Christmas Offering. I would encourage you to find ways that you can support this very worthwhile ministry.
It's Vince Daniel, Vice President of National Missions, General Baptist, and I'm joined tonight by Dr. Danny Donovan. Danny's so thankful for you to join us tonight.
Yeah.
And man, if you'll take just a second and share with us, you've been doing summits or GAs your whole life, right?
Nah, not my whole life.
Your whole life.
Very first one in 1999.
Okay.
I remember that because it came with Josh Carpenter, who is a good friend of ours for a long time, and we had to share a hotel room at the Motel 6 to afford it, and someone had to pay for it for us.
Okay, so not only did you get the Motel 6, but you got the free motel from somebody.
That's right, exactly.
All right, well that happens sometimes.
Yeah, right.
And tell me what is it that you've enjoyed about Summit, or these times together?
My favorite part about Summit is really the people and getting to be able to share opportunities to just connect with folks.
Yeah.
Be able to see people maybe we haven't seen in a while, get to catch up on where people are in ministry, where they are with their families, be able to encourage folks, get to bear burdens with each other sometimes and celebrate things. And also to make preparations to do additional ministry together and get opportunities to build partnerships. So those are kind of things that happens here in the hallway. Much more even sometimes than official kinds of activities.
Yeah, I was talking with some people last night, and you can go back and catch the services last night, but and both people that I talked to referenced, hey, I saw somebody that was my Sunday school teacher, and now I'm a pastor.
I saw that.
Or I connected. I'm looking across the foyer and I see the first person that paid for us to come to Summit.
Yep, exactly.
And man, there's such a community, family type atmosphere that I think people miss about the Summit, or maybe they don't even realize that's what they're going to get when they come here.
I got to have the same kind of experience today because I saw you guys' conversation last night. I was back here, we were having crumble cookies earlier. I did a 5K at the gym this morning, totally wiped it out with crumble cookies today. But then was getting to visit with Mike Trotter, who has been a pastor, General Baptist pastor for years. Mike was the guy that prayed with me the night I accepted my call to ministry.
Oh, that's fantastic.
And be able to share just some time talking with him. And so those kinds of things, that's exactly what it's about.
So you really, literally, from the moment you said yes to God in your call to now where you're standing in sitting in the seat of the president of the denomination, the movement, and a lot of those connections you have right here at Summit. You're passing them in the hallway. It's been a great year thus far as going where we're heading as a movement.
That's right.
And you and I talk often in the office about just that heart for the church.
That's right.
And while I got you, I just want to give you a chance to maybe tell the folks at home that are watching just what that heart is. That again, that heart for the church, who we are as a movement.
That's right.
But what our purpose is.
Yeah, so we talk about that all the time, that our reason to exist is not so that churches can help us do ministry, but so that we can help the churches do ministry.
Yeah.
And it's important to get our language right about that, because our language also helps our hearts will follow after that language. And so we're for the church. And so as we even think about how do we engage with folks that are church that's wanting to do a mission trip. Our role and responsibility is to help them in that process so that we make it easy for them to do that we give them opportunities so that it engages them in missions and makes them more missional as a congregation. It's not just about us going and doing something, but it's about the church and what it's accomplishing and what it means. I was just having a conversation with one of our church planners just a few minutes ago over dinner and talking about churches that are engaged in helping church plants. By the way, they end up having more people saved and baptized in their churches because it helps them be more missionally minded.
For sure. And I can attest to that as a church planner, that if it wasn't for those other churches that had that missional heart to pour out, then there's no way that real life would be where it is today, or that I would even be in the seat that I get to sit in at the national office. And so, what an honor it is.
And you guys get to, as a church planner, you got to have people pour into you, but we don't often talk about the other side of it, that the people who pour into you also are changed as a part of that process.
Absolutely.
And so, whenever we do that, when we say we're for the church, that's what we're talking about. It's not about that it's General Baptists are planting churches, it's that local churches are planting churches. So when we had the Yeomans on the stage a little while ago, that was very much, Lee's Chapel Church, they sent them as part of that church. You had the Christina Massey that we celebrated the other day. Hits Chapel, send her. That's an activity of the local church doing that work. We just get to come alongside and say,
just be the resource. Just being that resource. I think so often people almost lessen the idea of the resource, and I think for us that's what we want. God gets all the glory. We just get to be the partner that comes alongside.
That's right.
And last night I noticed this about this time is when you can start sensing the energy happening, and people starting to move, and they're anticipating a great worship service and great word tonight from Gary. And what has so far, and I know this may be hard for you to do, but the golf tournament, the 5K, the camp meeting, the marriage enrichment, services last night, and then this morning. What's been the highlight for you so far?
Wow. It would not be when my iPad stopped working last night during my sermon. It might have been, there's been so many moments like whenever Mike Brady getting up and preaching and just pouring out his heart at the camp meeting. That was just powerful to me. This morning, Robbie Gallaty and what he shared about just being still and letting God speak. I do that in prayer all the time. You see me do it.
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
But it's something letting God speak to folks, and that was just a powerful moment this morning too. So those moments in terms of the programming has been great. I think as much as anything, it's being able to see General Baptist folks be able to enter into those moments in a way that you can see that God's working in people's lives.
Yeah, the moment this morning where just seeing our pastors and our leaders and our families just in stillness, at the altar together, where there wasn't a lot of loud, rambunctious praying. It was just still, and what a powerful moment. I think he's the right word. The powerful moment of being still in His presence and just going, Lord, here am I. And as I knelt there, I was listening, and you could hear people breaking in the silence, where 2 people down, someone would begin crying, and then around the edge of the altar, another person would begin weeping, and what just a power. I just loved what he said this morning. So many good things that he said and brought to the table. And so, as I said, there's energy building right now, and with Dr. Donovan here, we want to share with you just some exciting news about next year. So we got a promo that we're getting ready to show you. Dr. Donovan, we love you. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. Can't wait for the rest of the summit. You guys check out what's coming next year.
Hello everyone, we're excited to announce the 2023 Mission and Ministry Summit. Next year's moderator will be Josh Carpenter, the pastor of the Grace United General Baptist Church in Paragould, Arkansas. And we will be meeting next year at the Old National Events Plaza in downtown Evansville. Our host hotel will be the DoubleTree downtown Evansville, and the dates for the event next year are July 20th, 21st, and 22nd.
Yeah, if you take a look at your calendar, you might notice that's a little different format than what we've used in the past. We'll begin the summit on Thursday, and we'll meet together on Thursday, Friday, and at least half a day on Saturday. We hope this gives people the opportunity to be able to come that maybe haven't been able to in the past because of needing to take time off. Really, it's possible to be able to come and only use maybe 2 days vacation and still make it to summit next year. So we're excited about that new format and how it might involve more people in our summit.
In 2023, we actually will be also celebrating the 200th anniversary of the founding of General Baptists. Benoni Stinson started the very first General Baptist Church in Evansville in the year 1823. So we'll be gathering together, excited to be able to celebrate 200 years of our history together.
Along with that 200th anniversary, our theme for next year's summit is momentum. And we want to take that energy that Benoni really started 200 years ago, that we can grab a hold of and pull it forward all the way into our present moment and let it push us into the future and the great plans that God has in store for us.
So if you want to register for next year's summit, we encourage you to do so as soon as possible. Go to gbsummit.org/registration. While you're here at the 2022 summit, we want to encourage you to take advantage of special pricing that we're making available just during our event this year. So if you want to go to that website or click on the QR code or go to the guest services desk while you're here at the summit, you get special pricing of $60 for an individual or $400 for a block registration.
So register as soon as you can for next year's summit. We'll be meeting in Evansville, Indiana at the Old National Events Plaza on July 20th, 21st, and 22nd. Danny and I have been attending GAs and summits for over 20 years now, and we've had a lot of great times with great speakers, exciting times of worship. We've learned a lot of things, but you know what makes Summit a great opportunity and a great time It's when we're all there together. So make sure that you're there. That's what's going to make Summit great next year as we celebrate our 200th anniversary and we move forward with the momentum that God has already blessed us with.
Hey everybody, here I am again right here in the lobby of the Sloan Convention Center, Summit 2022. With me right now is Jim Pratt.
Yes.
And excited to have you with us, Jim. And we get to work together at headquarters.
Yes, we do.
And what a great time we've had there. You and I, we try to have a good time no matter where we're at.
We do.
And I know
we bring joy to the room. That's
well,
right.
yeah, that's right. That's right. Whether they want us to be or not.
That's right. That's right.
So Jim, tell me, how long have you been doing Summit? How long have you been doing just the GA, the Summit?
GA Summit, first one in 1985.
1985.
Just my first year of seminary, I was a young 22-year-old.
Okay, so you've been doing this, so you've seen all kinds of change happening.
Back then, we would have all had to have suits on.
Okay.
And I'm thankful we don't have those.
So you're a little more relaxed.
A whole lot more relaxed.
All right,
yes,
all right, good deal. And they don't do a 5K then in 1985.
No, they didn't do anything. They did a Shoney's buffet.
Shoney's buffet. All right, well, I don't know that I would turn down the Shoney's buffet.
I'd like to bring it back. But
yeah,
anyway,
there you go. So the last couple of days, man, it's just been chock full.
Oh yeah,
of things.
Absolutely.
And so, I'm going to ask you. I asked Dr. Donovan a second ago. What's been the highlight for you?
Trying some new things. I mean,
Yeah.
it all started Monday morning for me at 5 o'clock to get ready for the 5K. It was raining, got close, but we had 26 people out of 30 that signed up, raised the money for national global missions, and so we had that. We had the golf scramble, world-renowned team, I think, from Mount Home, Arkansas.
Yeah, there were some great golfers on that team,
and even having the Hoppers and Mike Brady, had that, and that went well, and Ted Cunningham, and then having the GA before the summit itself, I think was good, so it didn't feel squeezed.
Right.
But was able to be at the breakout sessions after. There's 50 students that were in that session. They said,
really?
Whenever you
That's
guys
great.
have the missions thing, and so I think just to try some new things, if we say we're all in, let's try to do some new things to get people excited about being here, and just being able to connect with some of our pastors that are new to the movement, and them being excited about us being there for them to work together.
Yeah, I think that the new things are always great. I think the shift this year has been good in that, some of them have maybe seemed odd, like the 5K or the golf tournament, but that's not something that's uncommon for General Baptist.
No,
these are things that we've done in different scenarios.
Yes.
We just
Kinda
said,
put
hey,
them together,
we're already together. Let's enjoy them together.
That's right.
And I think it's been fantastic. Of course, Ted is always great at the marriage enrichment, and then the camp meeting with Pastor Mike Brady. He poured his heart out, and the Hoppers are going to leave the room hopping anyway.
That's right.
That's what
it's going
they
to be
do.
shouting time in heaven.
Shouting time in heaven. That's right. When the Hoppers
right.
are there. I was telling Danny earlier, we were talking about how I think a lot of people may miss this when they maybe tune into the summit, or maybe you came and it was the first time you didn't really know. Summit is really best enjoyed when you come back, because there's so many relationships that you form.
Yes.
Last night we talked with people who said that they had connected with people that they had grown up with in church.
Yes,
or,
absolutely.
One gentleman said, I looked across the foyer and I saw a Sunday school teacher that I had when I was a kid.
Absolutely.
Are you having those experiences?
Absolutely. People like, Johnny Gibson that, I was young to the ministry, and encourager that's been with me, and other people. And even my daughter Katie, that's married to Pastor Justin Benefield, grew up coming to the summit. Now here she is an adult, and I have the 3 best grandsons in the world that, their experience. Jackson's 6 weeks old to come to his first
6
summit.
weeks.
But I love those relationships and those people that have encouraged me through the years, and I want to pour into them as well. So.
Yeah, Jackson doesn't know a life without Summit.
No, he does. That's right.
And
that's
right. That's not a bad place to be.
That's right.
And
absolutely.
so we were talking about that. Don Key came by yesterday, and he joined us on our live. And as I said earlier, you can go back and watch any of these videos on our YouTube channel and be able to kind of connect with us and see what's going on. But Don Key came by, and man, what an encourager that guy is.
Absolutely.
He's just one of those people that, if you leave from him, you're better.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And I think that's the joy. And you and I, I've been to Summit now. I've been coming a little over 10 years to Summit, and I'm noticing now the transition of being the one that was encouraged,
yes,
to getting to be the one that
yes,
encourages.
Absolutely, absolutely.
And what a joy that is.
It really is. It really is. And like I said, I've been encouraged anyway, but seeing the 50, go back to the 50 students, of course, there's a whole lot more people younger than me than older than me now. I'm not quite, but I'm glad to see that there's a renewed interest. But I think us being able to make some changes, to make it more of a variety, I guess I would say, but also to make it available for our young families. Worship's been powerful, been awesome. Danny didn't pay us. Danny, knocked it out of the park last night. Rob today. And I think that we're trying to do what we can to help church. Danny from the very beginning said we're for the church, and just to be able to encourage people that have come by our booths, it's been great. Yeah,
it's been really good. I think this afternoon in the missions breakout with Mark and I were able to talk and really introduce some missionaries. Maybe people have seen them on a card or they've heard a name, but to be able to put a face with them. And so for you guys watching right now, I want to do that. I want to put a face with a mission. In Saipan, Pastor Stephen Dame and his wife Meg are there on the island of Saipan, and they do a great work. Pastor Stephen couldn't join us this year. He's waiting on the birth of a grandchild, so he's trying to save that time up. But he wanted to send a video, and he wanted to kind of share with you what God's doing in Saipan. So I'm going to send it to you guys and let you watch this video, and we'll be right back with you.
February the 29th, 2020, I had taken my two sons to a motocross track down in Alabama with some friends from the church just to have a getaway weekend. And in the process, I had an accident and no one else was involved. And in some ways, it was a very unspectacular accident except for my injury. Somehow, I totally crushed the T12 vertebrae in my back and found myself paralyzed. They had to life flight me from the motocross track to the hospital where shortly thereafter they contacted my wife and she started different prayer chains. She called the people there at the church in Mount Gilead where I was pastoring, as well as other people from other churches that we were friends with. And before long, that message began to spread everywhere. In fact, in a short period of time, I think there were people all over the world that were praying for us. They took me in and did emergency surgery to try to stabilize my spine and to see what kind of damage perhaps was done to my spinal cord. I was very blessed. While there was damage to my spinal cord, it was not severed. And they did hold out some hope that I would be able to walk and function again normally, but we were also told that that was not a given, that there was a very real possibility I would never walk again. So I was in the hospital there for 6 days in Alabama and then transferred to a rehab hospital in Newburgh, Indiana, where I had to learn to walk all over again. I was in a great amount of pain, but the prayers and the encouragement from the people kept coming in. And the results of that was amazing. I was once told that I would never walk without braces, and I even got fitted for the braces, and overnight, that situation corrected itself and I was able to walk the next day in my therapy sessions without braces. Even the doctors and the therapists were absolutely amazed and even said it had to be a miracle. They were all amazed at my recovery. And now not only can I walk and function fairly normally, whatever normally is for me, and I can run. It's amazing, I can run. I have ran as much as 6.5 miles without stopping, and most recently, just this past weekend, I ran in my first 5K since the accident. God still does miracles, and I stand before you as one that is a living miracle and a testimony to what prayer can do. During that time, one of the verses on prayer that I held to so much was found in Philippians chapter 4, verse 6. Don't worry about anything. Instead, pray about everything. Tell God what you need and thank Him for all He has done. Then you'll experience God's peace, which exceeds anything we can understand. His peace will guard your hearts and your minds as you live in Christ Jesus. I can't promise you that God will heal you the way He healed me. In fact, I don't completely understand all of that, but what I can promise you is that peace that comes through faith in God, that peace that comes from speaking to Him in prayer is something that you can claim in your life, and I know it was certainly true in mine.
Hey, here we are back again, getting ready to close out our pre-service time with you. This is Vince Daniel, Vice President of National Missions with General Baptist. Here in just a few minutes, you can hear the worship team behind me. You can kind of see behind me where people are starting to file into the lobby, getting ready for the worship experience. And we're going to get ready to turn that over to the worship experience in just a moment. But before we do, I want to kind of give you a heads up of what's coming tomorrow. Tomorrow's theme for the day is that we're all in for the church. And so we've got a couple breakouts for us. We've got a breakout called Strengthening the Church of Today. And that's going to be Pastor Carl Nichols and Pastor Brandon Petty. And man, what a powerful time that's going to be as they talk about the strengthening of our church today as it sits. It's been an odd couple years, let's just be honest. And they're doing great things in this season. We got another breakout that's coming that tomorrow will be called Strengthening the Church for Tomorrow. And Pastor Travis is going to be walking through that with a panel of people sharing what maybe some of our young pastors are going through right now and how they're going to go forward in that. Man, then tomorrow afternoon we have a great day. We've been calling them affinity groups, but really it's about networking. And we're going to allow lead pastors to get together and people that work with next steps in the church, and children's ministry volunteers and worship and creative volunteers all get together and start building these networks where we can learn and grow from each other. If you can't be here with us, we're going to do our best